official time sheet, and that's what we go by here on Collier County Committee Court.
This
This is
conference will now be recorded.
That's your disclaimer. Got another disclaimer for you. It's the, this meeting has been duly called in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, and it has been published. We meet at 11 o'clock on this regular schedule, and this is our temporary courtroom that we meet in. Hopefully, we'll be able to move back into the court itself shortly. We have a practice among the Commissioners Court. We exercise an invocation followed by a pledge of allegiance, and it rotates among the commissioners. Today, Commissioner Hudson will be offering that invocation and leading a pledge of allegiance to the American flag for us. If there's anyone that is uncomfortable or would not want to stay and participate with either of those, certainly feel welcome to slip out for a moment, give us an opportunity to exercise our practice, and then rejoin us. Same thing for those who are watching on us. If you wish to mute your line, please do so as you see Commissioner Hudson begin the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. With that being said, Commissioner.
Let's pray. And Lord, we thank you for this day. Thank you for each and every one represented here. Pray that you would be with us as we make decisions for the county today. Be with our military and all of our first responders. Go with us as we continue the rest of our day. And we ask all of this in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. We will note that 3 of the 4 commissioners are present for the meeting in call. And with that being said, we will go to public comments, which is the first portion of our agenda for today. I have been notified that there are, I'm sorry?
Stephen's on the phone.
Oh, okay.
By phone.
We will make note that Commissioner Sturk is participating by way of conference call. Okay, with that being said, we have 4 who have signed up requesting to speak publicly. We have a correction that we were able to catch on our agenda that shows 3 minutes, but actually on the form it shows 5. So gentlemen, we'll be acknowledging the 5 minutes and then revisit that to make sure that whatever discrepancy we have, we'll resolve that. With that being said, Madam Clerk, would you call for the first one?
We have Larry Simon Senior.
Larry? And you're welcome to speak to there, or if you'd like to come up closer to your question. Okay.
I'm a resident on 3240, known as Turner Road, and we have a bad problem with our road. It's just getting deteriorated day by day. Every rain we have no drainage. Most of our ditches are plugged, and the holes that we have in the road is kind of rough. Like I was telling everybody the other day, I went to Jasper to get 3 yards of sand, and when I turned off 256, by the time I got to my house, I lost a quarter of it on that road. So, and there's a lot of problems we need to address. I have, who do I give this to, John?
Start with the clerk right there.
These
for you. Yes.
Who's that give these pictures
She'll
to?
distribute
I
for
want
you.
these back up.
Okay.
Anyway, we're trying to get something done on the road. I've never met my commissioner. I don't know which one he is. Right here. We talked right before the election once, right before we got reelected. And then after that, I tried to contact his office probably 4 or 5 times on a couple of different items. He never returned my calls. And finally one day I made a mistake and punched in Mike Maxwell's number, and Mike was right above Mike Maxwell. So his secretary answered, and I told her, I said, I'm sorry. I said, I got the wrong number. She said, oh, no, you don't. Mike's here. You got him. So I did talk to Mike about a couple of issues that we had there, and we never got nothing resolved over that. But we need to have something done. I mean, you can see how many people here and what we're going through on that road. It's terrible. They come out and patch it. We got some drops at 8-10 inches on each side. They come out there and put a shovel full of green rock on the edge of one of them. a shovel full when it's about 12 foot long. And we got school buses running up and down that road. And if they hit that shoulder, as you well know, me and you've been through this once before in Harmony about how bad that road was, and you did get it fixed for it. And we have a worse problem on this, and there's places on there we can't even get by, 2 cars can't get by. You'll be in the ditch. And we have water running across the road, we have sand. If you turn off 256, that water's running across that road. That pipe's either plugged, nothing's been done about it. And to be honest with you, I think on behalf of all of us, we'd like to try to get something done. And I got a couple, just one question. I'll end my 5 minutes with Mike if I can address him.
Okay. Public comments are actually limited to,
Right.
for us to receive
I
your
understand.
comments. It's the option of the court whether to respond or not.
I
So
understand.
that would be up to whoever would be fielding the question that could answer it.
I thoroughly understand, Joe.
Okay.
Thoroughly.
I'll answer your question.
Where do you live, Mike?
Off of Highway 69 north of Commodore.
What precinct?
I'd invite you to come, precinct 3. I'd like for you to come drive down my county road, and then we'll see if yours is bad.
I have no doubt, you're right, you're right.
Well,
Ain't
hey,
none of them, that's good.
well, I hadn't talked to you in a long time, Mr. Sonia, and I hadn't had any calls in my office that said you
5.
called in. 5 in the last how long?
Last year.
Okay. We can
Or
look
maybe
back and
8,
see.
9 months.
I've got the records from the last 12 years, so we can
Okay.
verify that, but anyway, I'll
And
talk
you're
to
right.
y'all
You're right,
and any
Mike,
of these other people in here. If y'all hadn't called in and talked to me, I mean,
and
you're
you're
welcome
right.
to.
I want,
Because I've got some issues on that road I need to address myself, and it's with some of the people in here. We go out there and the culverts have got boards shoved down in front of them, stopping the culverts.
Mike, that's your job, not mine.
Okay.
Let me finish telling you, you're right. You got a lot of roads need repair. A lot of them.
And we've had what, 40,
And
50
I-
inches of rain?
Let me finish the answer. You answered my question, let me talk.
Okay, go ahead. How much more time you got, Judge?
Looks like we've got a minute.
2
and 5
minutes.
seconds.
Okay, let's go with it.
I'm going down every county road you got.
Okay.
And by far, all your county roads are bad, most of them are. They really do, they need repair, and I agree with you on that. But I'm not here to tell you what road to fix, I'm just telling you, we got a bad road. And we like to address it instead of just throwing a shovel full of asphalt down in a 12-foot by 8-foot hole right in the middle, and not even running over it. You guys just walk off and leave. We've all seen it.
Well, I don't.
Your employees, well, you ought to ride down that road again.
I've been there.
Well, I don't know when, and I like you, next time you come stop and have coffee with me.
Well, I don't know which house you live in, but
You can't miss it, looks like a Baptist church.
it hadn't been 2 weeks since I've been down there.
Yeah, but with our concerns of the road, Mike, and it's getting worse.
It's my concern too, Mr. Sonia, and I know,
Well,
but 40 or 50 inches of rain, we're doing all we can do.
it was bad before we got the rain. Do we have anything
How long have you
allocated?
been living here?
That doesn't make any difference how long I've been living there. It doesn't make a bit of
Well,
difference.
none of this.
Year and a half.
Right.
Is that long enough to know that them roads ain't been taken care of? Let me ask you, can I ask one more question? I'm finished.
Our time's up. I'll defer to the commissioner because obviously it's an item referencing him. If you wish to, certainly to.
I got one question I want to ask.
So with that,
Do we have any, I'm not gonna throw it at you, I'm nicer than what you think, but it can get bad. Do we have anything allocated, anything in the near future or whatever to get that road fixed?
I don't have any immediate plans for like this next summer to do it, because I have roads that's in a heck of a lot worse shape than y'all's
I
road.
hadn't found them out yet. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Madam Clerk, who will be the next to speak?
Patsy Jackson.
Patsy? Ms. Patsy?
Yes,
There you
I'd
are.
like to thank y'all for your time and opportunity to speak. I've lived on County Road 3240 since 1990. We purchased our property. And back then it was a dirt road. And most part it was well maintained. But since we've gotten the blacktop, it hadn't been maintained at all. It's really, really bad. And all the rain has really really washed it out on the sides where you can't drive. You have to stop and hope they don't hit you. And I know that the county has only so much resources, but where do we find how much resources has been spent in our county? And where do we find itemized budget?
I'm certainly willing to answer that question if you're posing that
I
question.
am,
Okay,
would you mind?
sure. Our budget is published. It's on our website. You can also obtain a copy through the county clerk's office. They can
At
provide.
any time, and or is it broken down in precincts, or how is it broken down?
It should be legible to where you can see that. Certainly, your representative voices, which are not only myself, but also the commissioners, specifically pertaining to their budget, I think each of them would be willing to sit down and review and look over those things. I suspect Mike is shaking his head, so.
Okay, I thank you for that. And I thank you for your time and the opportunity to speak with you.
Well, thank you, Patsy. Okay. Give me just a second while I figure out how to do this. Okay, who is the next one?
Clarice Gonzalez.
Hi, Clarice.
Good morning. Thank y'all for letting me speak. We're not here to argue or cause trouble. We're just trying to get help for the road. And yes, I do block my cupboards because when I don't, it starts washing and my bottom driveway's gone. I purchased land in 1973 and I don't know how many times I've gone to the bottom of the hill and brought the dirt back up to my driveway. So I've got grass growing and I put in an extra cupboard on my own expense, trying to stop the wash. So they help where they can, bringing stuff out, but that's a sensitive sandy spot and it has to be treated one way or it's gone. And we do have the bus that comes in twice a day. It's dead end road. What goes in's gotta come out. So that's double wear and tear. And I agree, you got a lot of roads to keep up. But when you can't pass each other without getting in a ditch to do this or get stuck, it's getting pretty bad
How many garbage trucks travel y'all's road for this?
too.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, they don't help either.
No, they don't.
And then the UPS is always in and out. Yeah, but, you know, we just want to try to see what we can get done with the road. I know you're busy with lots of roads, and we just, you know, want to see where our tax money's going to try to fix it. And we even had the school bus driver slow down because he hits those bumps. Those kids are just doing this in the bus because it's too rough. So we talked to the school and had them slow him down. But we appreciate anything you can do. And one neighbor of mine, he's a poor guy down in the valley. He catches wash from both hills and both sides, and it just washes everything out of the yard. He just about has to have a houseboat. So it's bad there. I stood in that ditch, and you couldn't see me. It was so deep. But we have had extra rain, and hopefully that'll slow down. Anything you can do, we appreciate it.
Thanks, Clarice. Okay, we've had three. Do we have one more?
Yes, sir.
Okay, who would that be?
Dan Frisbee.
If it pleases the court, Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
and members of the court, I'm here today to say that, yes, I am a resident of County Road 3240. And Mike, I know you've got your hands full. But what I'm simply saying is, yes, we have culverts that are stopped up, won't drain correctly. Yes, we have shoulders of the road that have already washed away, and I'm sure Mike is aware of that. My biggest concern is right now, although we have a lot of families that live up and down our road, and it is traveled heavily, more so over the last 4 or 5 years than it was when I bought back in about 2009. But here in just a matter of weeks, school's fixing to start. And we're all, some of us is real happy about that because now the kids are going back to school. But that school bus is gonna be traveling twice a day, making 4 trips, down and out, down and out. And as we all are aware of too, the UPS, the FedEx, the garbage trucks, some dump trucks are coming in every once in a while servicing some of the residences up and down the road. So you've got heavy equipment, some heavy equipment that are in there, and they're not helping the matters at all. But my biggest concern is that children riding that bus. If we have a major downpour, like unfortunately we've had here recently, to where sometimes that rain is so blinding you can't even see. If that school bus is running and meets another vehicle coming out, and neither one of them has room to go someplace, but that school bus slides off one of those shoulders and has a wreck, God forbid any of those babies on there get hurt. Because that's the last thing I want to hear, number one, is a child injured, or the news media, being buzzards that they are, had it plastered all over TV that there was a bus accident in Tyler County, Texas. So if there's any way feasible that this court can find the resources somewhere, beg, borrow, steal, borrow this year for next year, whatever it takes, please make every effort to repair that road for us before something major should happen. And again, God forbid we lose a life. That's all I'm asking. I do appreciate your time. I know you're busy. I know you've got your plate full, but keep us in your heart, in your mind. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. That will conclude the public comments portion of our agenda, and it'll take us to the actual agenda itself. And we'll take just a moment just to let you know, don't feel like that you have to stay. You're more than willing to stay to see how county government operates. We've got about 12 items for action on our agenda. I'd love for you to observe how the court functions and how we take care or attempt to take care of county business, but don't feel like that you have to stay. With that being said, we'll go to the consent portion of the agenda. The first item is minutes from the previous meeting, which was for June 14th, 2021. Those minutes are before us, and if there's a motion to receive those minutes into the record, the chair will entertain that for you.
Make a motion that we receive the amended minutes.
Okay? So there is a motion with a second for the amended minutes to be received into the record from June 14th. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, aye. Any opposed or abstaining? And it is all four commissioners unanimous. The monthly reports are in front of you, gentlemen. That's both for probation, clerk's offices, extension, auditor, treasurer, and justice of the peace precinct 1.
Motion to receive monthly report.
Okay, there is a motion.
I'll second.
There is a second. Comments or questions? All in favor of receiving the monthly reports, signify by saying aye. Okay, and it is unanimous among the commissioners, all four. That takes us to resolutions and proclamations, of which there are none. Item 4 is consider, approve, an informational section of your agenda. Item A is budget amendment line item transfers. Commissioner Marshall, is there any for the court?
I'm not sure, Bill.
Okay.
Jackie, are you?
No, there's not.
Okay. So we'll go to item B, which is accounts payable. Commissioner, you also have that item for the court section.
Yes. Okay. Over the accounts payable. I make a motion we approve our pay our county bills.
Okay. There's a motion with second. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, aye. And it is unanimous. Item C is service agreement with Sierra for email services. Commissioner Sturk.
Yes, I make a motion that we consider or approve the service agreement with Sierra. They are updating their program. We're going to need to make some changes to that, so I bring that in for the motion.
Okay, there is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There is a second. Comments or questions?
Judge?
Yes, ma'am.
In there, we are supposed to choose which plan.
Yes, I think
So can it be part of the.
Andrew and Donald had looked at that, and I think Jackie has that information, which one they recommend.
Just the basic plan, $4.
It's a basic, okay.
Yeah, the very first one under the $50 email.
Okay.
Would be sufficient.
So we are approving the service agreement with the recommendation of the basic plan for email services, correct?
And then I think there's
Correct.
for the website also.
And there's one also for the website, Donnie's?
Yes, sir.
And the basic plan on that also, but it also, there is a deal on there for Sierra to actually transfer our website for us, at $50 an hour. I recommend we do that. It's gonna be tiresome to do that.
Would you repeat that part again, Donald?
I recommend that we, buy the basic plan and then for the website, and then Sierra will offer $50 an hour to transfer our current website over to the new server.
Okay, very good.
I recommend we do that.
And we're not really sure how many hours it'll actually cost them.
No.
It's really a good value, gentlemen. I've been acquainted with the board for a while now, and they're not looking to make money. They are providing a service through TAC, through the agency, and so it's reasonable. It's not unreasonable.
The email says $4.90 per email per month. And that website package that Dawn was talking about says $1,550 per year. And the next one is $3,550.
The 1,500 would be sufficient.
You've heard the recommendations. I've been serving as the court coordinator for the county through the court. Glad to continue to do so. Both Jill and Becky have provided some administration. There's a place for redundance for 3 different administrators, and in the event that you lose your primary administrator and then another one is out, and you have a redundance of the back. And so Donnie's and I have had some conversation just to be sure that we're satisfying those, pleases the court, and you're okay about me acting in that responsibility in behalf of the court. I'll be glad to continue that. And then we'll probably address a 3rd administrative position, maybe at a later time. And if it's acceptable, what we're trying to do is be sure that we're diversified enough and we're not limited to a certain group or department, but we've got some representation in there that's appropriate for the structure of county government. Okay? Is that it?
And also, judges, the 30% management, Donnie's, is that part of the thing also? That's gonna be.
Yes, it says $4.90 per email per month plus 30% management fee.
At the recent Sierra board meeting, there's 100 and some odd counties in the state of Texas that utilizes Sierra. It's been in operation through TAC, our state agency, for 20 years. There's a lot of counties that do not have local resources that they can utilize to assist them. They're not trying to compete against any local resources, but just simply be an alternative resource that counties can avail themselves of. Some counties, they do all of their own website, email, etc. So from the discussion, there has been a significant amount of attacks, cyber attacks through emails, and it has required them to put on an additional personnel just to try to abate those issues on a daily basis. And so they have made the adjustment, but they're not looking to try to, they're definitely not a for-profit entity under TAC. They're just simply trying to recoup the overhead costs as best as they can project. And they can only handle so many counties. And so they've got a September cutoff time for everyone, and it's whatever the pleasure of counties are. That's just a little side note of information for you. Okay, any additional comments? You've heard the motion with was it going to do the amendment? Are we amending it or just clarifying? Clarifying the motion.
I think it's just.
Well, we'll just have to
Okay.
specify the
Specify.
plans.
All right. So we're specifying the plan with the motion, with the second. Any additional comments or questions? All in favor, aye? Any,
Aye.
and it's unanimous. Commissioners, all four vote. That takes us to item D, and Commissioner Marshall has that.
Renewal of IBM HW maintenance server and IBM SW maintenance server power 99009, it's lots of numbers, 41-A. It's got the serial number. Jackie, is this on?
It's the IS 400, it's a standard yearly renewal.
I'll make a motion, we renew.
Okay,
Make
there's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you for the second. Any comments or questions regarding the renewal? It is standard and customary. With that being said, all in favor, aye? Any opposed? And it's unanimous as well. Item E is Commissioner Marshall.
Reappointment of Sandra Williams to the Board of Trustees representing Tyler County and Burke Center for another 2-year term from September 1st, 2021 to August 31st, 2023.
Okay.
I put it in the form of a motion.
There is a motion
Second.
with a second. Okay. Historically, Tyler County has been represented on the Board of Trustees for the Burke Center through the hospital administrator, just because so much of it filters down through them. Joe, for your benefit, that's just informational, just so you'll know how that comes about. Any other comments or questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Okay. Item F, Mike, you also bring that to the court as a service contract.
Annual service contract with election systems and software in the amount of $17,390. Denise, I know
Yes,
this is something.
This is for all of our election equipment, the counters, the express votes, the, I want to say automorph, that's what the old ones were called, but it is express votes. That's the little machines that's designed for you to put your blank ballot in, and it comes up where you can touch the screen. It also includes our express polls, which is electronic voter registration for each precinct.
I make a motion to approve the service contract.
Okay, there is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second vote, thank you. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? And it's unanimous as well. Item G, Commissioner Stir.
Yes, it's make a motion for a mutual aid agreement and the MOU between the Constable's Office and Hall County for the use of the Top Sync TLET access. We approved the Top Sync contract for the constables, and this is for Hall County, for them to use their TLET system. It's a no-cost MOU, and we can get out of it at any time that we want. We can just notify that we want out of it. That comes in the form of a motion.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Marshall. Comments or questions?
Judge,
Yes, sir.
Casey had brought up that needed to kind of decide who's going to sign that, and could we amend that to say that you would be the one that signs the interlocal agreement? Isn't that what normally takes place?
If it's a pleasure of the court, if you wish for me to execute it, have the court's decision, I'm glad to do so, but
Yes, sir.
I need to do that.
Make you the-
The email that Casey forwarded to me stated that each constable has to sign it, not the commissioners.
Yes, ma'am. But she also said the commissioners, if it was their pleasure, they could also
Oh,
sign it too, or the judge, however you want to do it. I made that clear to her.
The service actually is specifically for constables, and they're just entering into a mutual sharing benefit between Hall County and Tyler County. Did y'all have some kind of a conversation and you were able to get that understanding of what they're doing, and then you could just
Yeah,
share?
they, Donald probably can tell us better than me, because it's the CGIS thing.
It's
So,
part of the CGIS grant?
yes,
Okay.
so, by posting it through Hall County, the audits and all that will take place, so they'll send in a small portion of their audit, they won't have to audit.
The entire.
It's beneficial on the larger aspect, to run it through Hall County.
Perfect. Okay, so we've heard the explanation. Joe, do you want to just include that it has passed through court? It has been authorized by court, and you're requesting me to sign off in
Yes.
behalf of the
Yes.
court, and then each of the 4 constables will have to sign off that they are a participant, because each one of them are individual, obviously,
Yes.
within their own precinct. Okay. With all of that being said, any additional comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
And it is unanimous. Okay, that takes us to item H. Commissioner Hudson?
Yes, this is the renewal, I guess, for the annual maintenance with Image Tech for the laser fish software used at the county clerk's office. On behalf of Ms. Donnelly, do you like to elaborate on that?
The cost is $1,485.
All right.
All right, I'd like to put that in the form of a motion.
There is a motion. Is there a second? Thank you, Commissioner Blacksher. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
And it's unanimous. Item H, Commissioner Hudson also brings that to the court's attention.
Yes, this is for a contract with Texas Document Solutions for the tax assessor. Lynette, would you like to say anything about that one?
Yes, we're,
It's something new, isn't it?
yes, we're
Correct.
changing to Texas Document Solutions. We'll be able to have more printers under contract for less money. We were with Innovative, so it's been cost effective to just move over to Texas Document Solutions.
So solutions is better than innovation, isn't it?
In this case, it is.
Did you have an amount?
Yeah, I was going
It's gonna be just right about 8,000.
8,000, did you say?
a year.
what was the previous?
It was over about 950.
Here's this one.
Yeah, it was 939.60 per month, and now it's 18, 11.
And we'll be able to have all of our printers where we didn't have that, probably 5 of them.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Hudson. I'm going to give you credit for the second, okay? Since that was your item. All right, with that being said, additional comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
It is unanimous. Item J, Commissioner Stirrup.
Yes, this is, I believe it's just information that they, put on record that, ESC Emergency Service District Number 3, is the 2020 compiled financial report, that they, turned into the Commissioner's Court, it's signed by Ms. Gauss and Jennifer Miller, all of that district there. It's a requirement that they, an option that they can do an audit or turn all the financials in to the court for public record. And so that's, I don't think we have to vote on this or anything. I think it's just informational that put on record that they did turn it in compliance.
Then that takes us to item K, Commissioner Marshall.
Interlocal agreement for E911 Public Safety Action Point Services. Is that, I'm really not real familiar with what this is.
Yeah. We get our 911 support services through DETCOG. It's a cooperative agreement among 11 counties that constitute that. This is an annual renewal of that service agreement between us and them as entities.
I put it in the form of a motion.
Okay, there is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Hudson, with the second. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, and it is unanimous with the commissioners voting. Item L, Commissioner Marshall.
Interlocal agreement for GIS and NG 911 automatic location information maintenance services. And I assume this is still part of that same.
It is, it's, yes, it's the GIS portion of that 911. It's the mapping identification. So,
I'll put it in form of a motion.
okay, there is the motion of Commissioner Blacksher, did you second?
Yes.
Okay, so we have the motion with second. Comments or questions? All in favor, aye? And it's unanimous. I'm not aware, gentlemen, of anything for executive session. Is anyone? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
So,
Okay, thank you. I'll take Bucks as the motion and Mike's as the second. Thank you all for your time and participation. We, covered the business of the county this morning. Feel welcome to contact any of us.
This conference is no longer being recorded.